Good evening, all right. Thank you for coming tonight. This is our Post MCO Covid-19 market recovery talk. For those of you who's been following me for some time, you'll probably know me, Martin Wong, a trade market strategist for TradeVSA. But tonight, I'm just going to be more of an investor, a longer term, little bit of trading, and how I see the market with lots of news coming in. I think many of you would have heard and seen before the news that is coming in. You know, the market right now, my TV is on. I'm listening to Euro News. I'm just switching in between to Bloomberg. I could say, you know, they're all talking about the Great Depression and the great bad news. But on the back of it, you think very carefully. The market's going up. Correct, isn't it, right? The market's going up. Of course, those of you who has really been following me, you probably understand what I'm talking about, because this video that I do every Wednesday night, we used to do it at noon, but due to the feedback from the public, we get a better response at night, that most of you are a bit more relaxed after the dinner, got more time so you can follow it. So that's why we're doing it live. Of course, if you miss it or any parts of you need to be away, this will be recorded and edited and will be available on YouTube and also on Facebook, so you can follow me in here. All right. So here are a couple of tips that I think I can give to you and for you to be better prepared. All right. Now, for a start, those of you who are first time joining, those of you who just type 1, if you are first time joining in there, so at least I know, do get our latest update from our TradeVSA Telegram group. This is the website. You can take a photo of this and get your mobile phone ready with your camera, because tonight there's a lot of information they could use. You can take photo, and if you are in happen to get bump into me, or there is a number that I'll give you, you can really send it to me and ask me for more clarification if you need to, or more what we call details about what we teach about. I think that's very important too. So this is the Telegram group that we support this totally free of charge. We don't charge anything like any other what we call financial education provider. We do that, all right? And also, those of you who are the first time, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, where all our talks, like tonight, the valuable one, you can will be archived and edited for your pleasure of viewing, because all those information are good. I did talk about post-budget 2020, 6 stocks to be benefited, and 3 things you didn't know about, trading Sharia gold. So those are the regular topics that I get from all of you, and I try to make it as simple, as easy as possible. Hi Eddie, hi YK, okay. Now do subscribe to this, and also a few more free information and so new subscriber that you can talk to. All right. Now don't forget, for the live FB we're doing tonight daily, during this what we call the CMCO. Okay, I think you know that, conditional market control, up to 31st of May. We'll continue to do this every day. All right. So what it simply says that in the day morning session, the 10:15 session in here. Let me just bring this up. Okay, all right. We will continue to do our CPO, and tomorrow is a public holiday. It's a Vesak day, so we will still do on Friday. So on Friday we will do at 10:15, so you can see me how I trade live and teach you how you can make money. Looking at that, I'll talk more a bit towards the end there. And also 9:30. This you are at this slot in here tonight here, which is the 9:30 slot. PM, and we will do it every night. Wednesday night I'll do more of the fundamental approach. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday and Friday will be taken by my senior trainer Zach, which have been doing a great work. Give him a thumbs up in here to support you, those who like to trade in the short term. So we have something for everyone. The fundamental guys, the macroeconomics fellas, the little trader, the intraday trader, because what we feel that our products, TradeVSA, has the best in class for everyone. All right, thank you. So 4 important points we want to talk about: the post investing strategy and sectors. Oh, okay, we already got 40 minutes already, so I want to go up and wrap it up. So in our post MCO investing strategies in here, number 1, I think most of you know, don't panic. Okay, market will recover, and I'm going to go through one by one of this sector so you all get it. All right, so number 2, right now it has become more of a trading market to positional trading method. Okay, very important. If you don't know what's a positional trading, I'm going to talk about it just in one slide. Very simple trading market. It's no longer what we call a buy and hold. Buy and hold don't work anymore. I hope many of you do know, you buy your public bank. Where is it going now, right? And then fourth one, invest in quality companies when they are on sale. That means COVID-19 right now. So let's go through each four of these things. Okay, very four basic things. I talk about the sectors just now. Now I'm just going to go straight to this area. First of all, the market will recover. Now the market has recovered. Right, just now 30 from it recovered 31 to 37% depending where you are. Okay, now this is important here. Let me just bring this up here. So if you notice the bull and the bear market that we have in US, right, the long period, all right, this is important. You can take a picture of this. Right? How long this thing been running, you notice, right? 131 months, the bull market. This one started in what, February? Okay, since then it has recovered. Okay, so that's why we have a 10. The reason why I say this, if you notice, March 2009, okay, and 2020. Okay, let's call it also March lah. Huh? March. So all in all, we have 11 years. That was a bull market. So the market fell, we all know, right? Which is a minus 39%, which is this one here. Now we are seeing a new bull. That's right, a new bull. So I'm going to ask you a question. Joe Biden versus Donald Trump. Who's going to win? Type in your answers there. Joe Biden, Donald Trump. Who's going to win? All right, you tell me. All right, let's see what are the people typing out there. Okay, so this is a good point because market has recovered 31% from minus 39, which is the February 20. And if you look back on history, right here, this whole range, okay, you can take a photo of this or you can watch back. You can see the periods of bear markets are relatively short. All right. The bear markets are relatively short. And that tells you that this one is short too. Now we all know that just now we already agreed, right? 2020 is what we call a forgotten year. It's what we call an absentee years. It's like you fell asleep, a frozen sleep, in a long time you didn't wake up next day. That's what it's all about. So it is all over. And if the vaccine is coming up from what we talk about, Gilead in there is good. So the thing that this is a very famous value investor. His name is called Peter Lynch. Okay, Peter Lynch. I think some of you heard it before. He has a New York bestseller, One Up the Wall Street. If you don't just read it, he's already retired. He is the same rank as Warren Buffett too. But his result is not as good as Warren Buffett. But he says that look, the thing that really concerns a lot of people is the stomach. Not so much the brain, because when things decline, the bad headlines in newspaper and television, he said that back in the 80s. Were you able to stomach it? And that's why I show this on the right hand side, the bull and the bear market. Our continuous week to week presentation that we're doing here is to keep reminding you, look, the market will recover, the market will recover. Don't panic, you will do pretty well. And that's what the whole message in here. So you look back, right, our ability, our stomach, okay, can we stomach it? That's one of the things that we do in our courses, in our workshop. We have this 12-month mentoring side, is to condition you. And some of you who are listening in here are already our members, and thank you for your feedback in our Facebook. And that's what we do. We do our conditioning. We do a lot of psychology in here. And I even have a book here, those of you who've seen in front here, where I talk about the samurai way. The Warrior Trader Way. This is a very important book that every time when you take a position out there, it's like you're going to be killed or you kill someone, right? So in this case, killing means victory. You're able to stomach it. There's always the fear, but not a problem. The fear is going to be there, but very important is able to understand it. And when you've gone long enough with me, you will do. Okay, so for some investor, point number 2, it will be a trading position. Now, this is what we talk about, becoming a trading position. You can see on our KLCI, okay, this is the KLCI way back in, you can see this is way back in February, right? Early February. If you have followed our TradeVSA system, okay, this orange zone is bearish, okay? And this is the green pentagon, this blue zone, okay, is bullish. So right now the market is bullish. So if you have fallen it in February 2020, you would have avoided a minus 23% loss. And right now, if you have gone in here, you'll be in the money 1.3%. Okay, so in theory, minus 23 or plus 1.3%, which would you have? Now, if you lost 20%, you need 40% to come back up. Okay, if you are sort of having a trading kind of mentality. All right. Now, I do know that it's very difficult to predict what we saw in the market, but at least having a TradeVSA system, the Pentagon side, it can indicate to you whether you follow or not, right, will be based a lot on the reasons that you have to hold any stocks or not. So very important right now, we want to switch from a buy and occasional hold to something like a trading model or a position. I would recommend a positional trade where you can hold your period from weeks to month. Okay, so you want to follow a system like this. If you don't have one, just follow the Pentagon. Okay, Pentagon guided system. Okay, if you don't have one, just have this, and this will put you in the right manner. Okay, so let's go on next. Now, third one, buy and hold don't work. All right. Now, how many of you, I hate to say it, okay. Now, yeah, Donald Trump. Yeah, I think many will say, okay, someone said Joe Biden. Okay. Hey, Joe Biden too. Okay. So, like it or not, buy and hold don't work anymore. I mean, buy and hold is for lazy bum lah. Okay, for lazy bum. So you want to buy into favorable sectors like the consumer, and you want to avoid the sunshine sector. Now, this is an important slide that you will see that a lot of this what we call the old value, right? If you buy and hold Parkson, I think you're already gone. K&M, Berjaya, Star, UEM, Tan Chong, BAT, Green Packet, Post, and Genting, especially Genting, right? Avoid those what we call the sunset industry. And one of those sunsets, go back to the KPMG sectors that I talk about. Buy into favorable sectors like the technologies. Now, just think of it. If you want to buy those sectors, what are the kind of jobs you want your children to go to? Okay, if you're going to send your children, let's say, to overseas education or to a local tertiary education, what do you want him to come up to work as? I think that's very important. So that will give you some sort of a sector. So avoid the sunshine sectors, okay? Avoid the sunset sectors, but go into the sunshine sectors, okay? So I correct myself. Now, look for favorable sectors with strong balance sheet. Invest in qualities company when they're on sale. So use the Robi FA ratings, right? What is FA rating? Now, let me just bring this up in here. FA stand for fundamental analysis rating. Now, this is the one I think you all would usually use a camera to take it. Use it with around 4 and above, okay? Greater than 4. Now, this is an important one. You can use it for 4. Now, if you like what you see so far, give me a thumbs up. Now, you also notice all these are some of the stocks that I've talked about, right? Revenue and Inari, which are two of my favorite. Penta, that one has done pretty well. I think Marina, one of our coaches, have made a fair bit of Frontcan, Vitrox, Elsoft. These are all the technologies. MI, Innovation, Globetronics, Inari. They're all local manufacturers in there, and they are net cash position. One of the reasons why they're net cash position, you tell me. Because they continue to work like slave for the big tech company like Apple, okay? For Alibaba, for Broadcom, for Nvidia, okay? And for automotive. No doubt right now they're taking a hit. But going forward, based on what I've just told you guys, with Donald Trump pushing way to the November time frame, right? But right now, COVID-19 gives you an opportunity to buy them on sale. And use them, make sure you get 4 out of 8 ratings, okay? Now, also invest in companies, a quality company when you're on fire. So now, one of the ways you want to do that, you go to Facebook, go to Smart Robi, and you type undervalue. And what we've done every day, right, I'll go through some of the local newspapers and this. I do it as a part of a service. So you guys, okay, let's move on. Okay, now 5 known facts. Now let's start with the 5 known facts, which sort of set up what we want to say tonight. Now, those of you who have been followed, number one is definitely Donald Trump, which been really the talk of the town, and everywhere you listen, and everywhere you do. If you ever participate in the Facebook or social media, Trump is going to be out there. Now Trump is going on what we call the re-election campaign, and we all know when is the re-election campaign, people. Do you remember when his election campaign? If you do, please type it out there, and at least I do know. So he's been going out in there, and then he has his rival, which is, we all know, Joe Biden, right? The little quiet guy, Joe Biden said, and he's campaigning from home, just like I'm live FB. But the difference is Donald Trump has his Air Force One, his 747, and he's flying all over the places, and he's looking for excuses why he didn't do well. I think we all know, right, from our angle in here, he was delayed, he procrastinated, he didn't have a chance, and then he tried to fire some of the very close advisor that actually advised him not to do this and be prepared, but he ignored that, because we all know Donald Trump don't read. He makes up facts that he goes. I think you all have heard him say before, the bleach, inject himself with the bleach, and today he toured the N95 Honeywell face mask. He did wear a face mask, so there was a lot of things. So what basically he's going out there as if this is his time. Okay, Donald Trump is saying, look, this is his time. This is the only couple of months that he has, and he will do whatever he can within his power, right, to make sure he gets elected. Isn't that true? Now, what does it mean, implication? All right, that means he need to push up the stock market. No way around, right? He is going to let the stock market goes down, because if he let the stock market go down, if he creates more unemployment, which I'm going to talk about it here, he will be out. And Joe Biden is going to come in. When Joe Biden come in, I would have another whole series of video presentations like this to update you guys. All right, so fact number two. Now looks at fact number two. We all know what happened here. One of the world value investor, Mr. Warren Buffett, has dumped a lot of airline stocks, isn't it? Right? This is the greatest value investor in there. He is like the oracle, what's it call him, like the Omaha Oracle. Like, he can predict the stock market. So this is where he said that he had a couple of airlines, Southwest, Delta, and he's dumping them out. So what does this mean, implication? Which mean a lot of a lot of people, mom and pop like you and myself, would never like airline stocks. But we all know that I've been talking about airlines. Those of you who've been following me for many years, you know that I'm never favor of airlines. Way back in 2003, we all remember SARS came, isn't it? Then we have the airline Air Asia took a beating in there, and subsequently you got MAS, which never recovered since the split from SIA back in the 60s or 70s in there. So airline stock is, to me, it's one of the most difficult business to run. And one of the things that I find why a lot of people go into the airline business, I think partly because of Boeing and also Airbus, which side by side competing, and they're giving out a lot of goodies. So I think you all heard about the Air Asia too, right? The news about Tony Fernandez and his partner Kamaruddin, all the side deals that was going on with Airbus, and that's what's happening with a lot of the airlines. Basically, the airline manufacturers are really subsidizing it, and that's why you got so much airlines out there. Many of them don't really make money, and you can see in this COVID-19 they're really struggling. So finally, Warren Buffett dumped the airline stocks. Okay, so third known fact is, I think we all happened just 8 hours ago, or maybe plus another 6 just today. Bank Negara cut interest rate. For the first time, your interest rate is 2%. So can you imagine your fixed deposit now, right? Depending whether it is for 12 months or 3 months, it is very low. I wouldn't be surprised going forward. How many of you tell me going forward your fixed deposit is going to be low? If you think it's going to be low, just type low. Okay, FD low going forward 1 year or 12 months from now. Oh, sorry, right? Just let me know. Okay, 12 months from now, is it going to FD low or not, right? So what does that mean? It means Malaysia is really following what the US were doing way back in 2009 and 2018, right? So we are copying a playbook of what the Fed chairperson were doing. So the Bank Negara is doing that. We got 2%. Can you imagine at one point, our fixed deposit can go down to 0.25? which is what's actually happening in Singapore. Singapore interest rate is very, very low. But because Malaysia, like it or not, is trying to be nice to a lot of the retirees. They say that, look, a lot of retirees are not doing too well on their EPF. You all know about the EPF predicament, right? A lot of them don't have enough money, so they're relying on the fixed deposit. But then fixed deposit now is so low, and it's 11-year low. So what does that mean? It means it will force a lot of investor, it will force a lot of mom and pop to learn how to invest and invest in what we call dividend stocks, which I'm going to share with you after that, further down the road. I think that is also very important. Fixed deposit of 0.8, yeah, that's right. So we have seen this low interest rate regime which is coming, and it will be continue to come. So fact number 4, okay, very important here, fact number 4, which I'm going to circle them in here. Now, this is part of the package of, if you subscribe to our TradeVSA package, those of you who have and are existing member, you will know, you will see this. This is the KLCI. You can see the KLCI here, okay, going up, right? Right now, we are around about 13. Today, I think we are down 12 points, 1380, right? So that actually coincides with all this. See this, all this red thing, okay? These are what we call foreign funds outflow. Okay, foreign fund outflow. So right now, right in front of you, you probably see this. Look, it doesn't take a genius to know. When the foreign fund flow out, our KLCI go down. So way back in February, you can see as early as February, all right, as February 2020, we have seen foreign funds continue to move out, and it has stopped, and now right now in here. But the good thing is, for the first time here, and the second and the third time, and we have only 4 occasions, okay, of foreign fund buying. 4 times only. But at least better than all selling, isn't it? So we have 4 times of buying, and finally, markets are creeping back. And that's one of the reasons why foreign funds and the highest was this, almost, here, if you look back, it's minus, you just look over this chart, over this side here, about minus 320 millions. Okay? So this is something that we have in our website. So if you have our TradeVSA package software, you're able to see this. So this is also important. Now, fact number 5, also important, then I flashed this before, is our TradeVSA charts. Now, you notice our TradeVSA charts, okay, here, way back on 12th of May, the Pentagon, okay, guider came in on 12th of April. Right today, we are at what date? Today we are 6th of May. Okay, so it is almost 1 month early. Okay, 1 month early to warn you, to inform you, right, that the market is going higher. Okay, so this is why the Pentagon with our buy and sell signal will always get you. Now look at this. This was way back in January, right, when the market broke through. You can see that, right? You'll probably be out of the market if you want to follow the Pentagon guided system. So for those of you who are the first time in the market, truly TradeVSA has a buy and sell system that actually tells you. And what's more important, when you tie that with the macroeconomics, like what we say in here, has the best edge and the best system in town. All right. So here is important is on edge that IMF on April 15 that GDP, right, has a forecast of 9% growth in 2021. Forget about 2020. Forget about the second half of the year. Forget about 2020. 2020 is where I tell my children, okay, and I tell little school children, right, you got 1 year absentees. Correct. That's right. 1 year absentees, which means totally it's a gone year. 2020 is a gone year for you and for me. Those of you who have work, whatever the case. So you're agreed now. If 2020 you agreed that it's a gone year, just type gone 2020, right? It's totally gone. The school education is gone. My son who's sitting for his Cambridge, I think that's going to be gone too. I don't know how they're going to reschedule it. The SPM, all is going to be gone. We wasted 1 year, okay, on 2020, right? So I think that is really true with the 2020 in there. So that's why when you look at the stock market in there, do we look at what's happening now? Come on, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, do we look at it now? We look at the future, right? We look at 2021. That's right. So right now we can see, going back to the previous slide here, let me just go back to here. The foreigners are not here yet. They are not So you can see why all the red negative outflow, right? So this is where you want to go in and pack yourself at least for another 8 months to 9 months, right? And remember, I talked about Donald Trump, the November election running up. So this is where he is going to do or he's going to die, right, ladies and gentlemen? He's going to do or he's going to die. He's going to make sure that wicks, keep it low, which is the volatility index, and push up that stock market going up. And this is what my strategy for you guys is the same. Now, if you look at the IMF projecting a 9% growth, now this year is going to be a minus 6.8, right? That's why we have interest rate cut, which is almost a 50, what's that? 50 basis point. We have at 50 basis point is 0.5 percentage. Okay, so we're right now at 2.0. So would the BLR cut? Yes, of course, going to cut, but it's going to take them a long time. Usually, bank, when they raise interest rate, they raise it very fast. When they cut, they don't want to cut, because when banks start to lose jobs, this is where you're going to have this prolonged deflation, which I'm going to talk about in here. All right. So again, I've talked about 2020, the Corona COVID-19 year is a wasted year. So there's nothing out. It's a mask out year. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, here the red. Okay. Now let's move forward. Okay, so it's time to, so TradeVSA, again, going back to 12th of April, right? Time to accumulate. That's the whole thing you say. Now, also, this is something in the news from way back in March 26. You'll notice, as soon as the Senate, which I'm going to show you a chart, right, on the US Dow Jones, as soon as the Senate approved the $2 trillion in there, the market just turned inside out. It was down and down and down. We have one of the biggest loss. We got 10%, 12% loss, and all of a sudden the market started to rise. And this is where the government started paying $1,200 to all people. Now, if you compare back to the 1930s, the Great Depression, where US went through, a lot of people don't have jobs. They're willing to, work for food. Right now, they don't want that to happen because the government knows that they have a lot of money, and that's what they're throwing with a lot of helicopter money. And that's why the stock market. Now, look at this date. This date is important, which is the March 26th, okay? March 26th is where the news came out, and you have this 2 trillion stimulus, and the market just sort of shot up because everybody felt the impact of money. Of course, if you are a Malaysian, unlike Americans, you won't feel anything. Here today, I think some of you did apply a lot of the benefits which are coming out from government. I just hit the finance minister Zafro has dished out almost 260 billions of dollars in there. But have you felt that coming to your company? Or if you are been laid off or you don't have any employment, have you felt that yet? If you felt the money has trickled down in here, just type money fall on me. Just type money fall on me. Let me know, okay? So I don't think so, all right? I don't think that people are really feeling that money in here. So right now is this word that we call deflation. Now, deflation, let me just write here down here. I'm going to go more explanation, right? Is the opposite, okay, of inflation. Okay. Now, inflation is where prices go up. Okay, prices go up, where a lot of money being chased. Let me just have a sip of water here. But right now, a lot of the time that we are feeling is deflation. That what simply means is that, look, instead of prices going up, okay, prices going up for inflation, now you have deflation. So deflation, what does it mean? Prices going down. And to me, that's scary. Why? Because if you are a consumer, you want prices to go lower, right? But think very carefully. If you want to buy a TV today, okay, and that TV is 1,000 ringgit, right? You know prices are going to go down. But guess what? You know prices are going to go down. You say, hey, maybe I wait for 3 more months, or I wait for 3 more weeks. It will be 950 ringgit, right? So you will withhold your purchase. That means the shop is not going to register your sale, and he's not going to be able to pay the employee, which in turn pay the manufacturer of the TV, which go into a spiral cycle. Okay, let me just repeat that again. So if you think that prices are going down, just like petrol no choice because you have to consume, right? But if you think you withhold a TV, for example, or a fridge or a car, Okay, anything like to do with property, what we call the white goods, okay, the brown goods and the white goods. White goods are like washing machine, things like that. You will delay, and to me that will lead on to what I have here. So the risk of deflation, U.S. economy is important. So a lot of U.S. economists, okay, they are really, really worried about this deflation, the topic of the deflation, right? So deflation starts like this. So when you have what we call a huge reduction in production, no more hiring, this is because of the COVID-19, right? Right now we all know US just came out. This was dated back to 26 million. Now US has 320 million. Now the figure now estimated to be almost people filing for unemployment, which was almost about 30 million. That means 10% unemployed. That's huge, because US before the post COVID-19 was only less than I would say less than 4%. For Malaysia, they estimated about 1.5 million to 2 million, depending on which figure look to, unemployed. This is Malaysia. Would you agree to that? Malaysia unemployment 1.5 million to 2 million. Now, how many of you listening today are unemployed as a result of COVID-19? If you are, don't be shy. We all live today, and that's why we all here want to see what kind of solution going, because this, what we call the post-COVID going forward, are the new norm. Okay, these are the new norm, which means we have to be smarter. We have to work intelligently. Okay, the old way of working is no longer work. So this is what I've talked about just now, the goods oversupply, and you go to this deflation. So when you go to this, money don't flow, the economy is spiral. Now, if you look back, you compare back to 1930s, okay, this is the 1930s, the life during the Great Depression, right? Why can't you give my dad a job? That's right. People are asking the same thing. Why can't you give my dad? I want to work. Okay, hopefully you can say, I want to work now. These are all the photos in here. So one thing is definitely coming. We have this issue about Trump, okay? Okay, issuing more tariff, okay, against China versus here, this point here. Now this is important because people say, look, this Trump really quite lan. I think those of you who understand Hokkien would know. He's really out there, is a bully. He's trying to bully into China buying everything that he promised in the, what we call the phase one of the tariff. All right, the phase one of the tariff, where they want to tear down that tariff war. Phase one, they want China to buy close to about 200 over billion of things. Even though now China is facing a lot of difficulty, they are growing, and now we can hear in Wuhan, they are reopening up. Even Disneyland is opening up on May 19 in China, in Shanghai, okay? So that is really good, okay? But the fact remains is that this is Jim Cramer from CNBC says that, look, Donald Trump can't raise the tariff because it's going to have 30 million. Right now, they have 30 million unemployment. Now, remember, phase one of the tariff way back in 2018. You all remember, right, the tariff war, isn't it? That's why 2019, the market just slide down. Okay, 2018, the market slide down, and then it recovered in there. So it's because of the unemployment. So my best guess is Trump is calling it a bluff. He's just like a poker player. He is trying to bluff China into committing what it needs to purchase, because China need to buy. If China don't buy, he want to bully them. So when China buy, good for US, because US got 30 million unemployment. So that is why, going forward to the next slide, it's very important, right? Donald Trump say he must reopen despite the number of people dying. Now, remember back then, remember just on the date I just shared with you. Here, I don't have the date, but somewhere around here, this was the March 26, 2020, where the 2 USD, okay, $2 trillion, okay, economic stimulus was pumping, and then you see this market just way out. Okay, so Trump said that, look, the economy has to, okay, let me just erase this so you can read this. Okay. Bring back my pen again. This is 26 March. Right here. So right now, this Donald Trump has to pull this so-called down market back up, right? And he has to do it. Donald Trump has no choice. He has to re-economy at the expense of more American dying. Isn't that true? Right? Because he knows if he doesn't open, he would die also. Correct or not? So he said that, look, just like Second World War, right? First World War, Americans die. And he is putting economy ahead of humans' lives. And that's the truth. That is how the Americans are. I hope some of you Americans watching don't get too offended, right? But this is the reality of what we are today, right? So if you think that the market is controlled by a group of individual or it's random, tell me what you think, right? So this is the real truth of it. So you see that Trump reopened the economy because he have no option. He got to get the economy going. If he doesn't get, he will not get reelected in November. Many of you type in the November time frame, remember, right? If he doesn't get elected in November time frame, that's all he got. So what does that mean? That means right at the bottom here, you can see US is technically out of the bear market and it is into a bull market right now. That's right. So it's already into a bull market in there. So what we're trying to do is hopefully this time frame in this month of May, okay, we are already at the 6th of May, right? We want to see a pullback right here. Then it's a good area to buy. That's what I'm looking for, right? Because going forward, once we pass August and September, right? Because September is to November. I think it's November 2nd is the election date, right? Now, it's going to be hot season now, okay? Which means he has to go out. That's why now, if you notice, Donald Trump is going out. He's taking his Air Force One. He's flying to Georgia. He's flying to Arizona. He's be flying to the Midwest. That is where his biggest support is, his Midwest, right? People will die. That's for sure from the COVID-19, but he will play it down. He already said he wants to be a cheerleader, rather than in there try to be what we call firefighting. Okay, he's a cheerleader type. So from August and September to November, this is where the market is going to kick up. So this month of May and June, I'm just waiting for the market to really settle down a bit more. Okay, where the market right now, we were here. Okay, I was actually thinking this market will actually fall back to this level in here. This is an area of buying. And that was what I was really looking for, that area of buying, very important to me. Okay. So is this okay so far? Is the information that we have paints a picture going forward, the post MCO? If it has, give me a thumbs up, okay? Give me a thumbs up and we want to go from here. Okay, so let's talk about post-MCO investing and trading like, right? This is a picture of Warren Buffett, and you have seen Warren Buffett. First thing, remember, his theme for 2020 this year, avoid airline stock. All right, just know that. So how does it look like? Okay, let's go on. So first thing you need to know is understanding the KLSE market sectors. I think this is very important. As part of our TradeVSA system package, now so you would know the KLCI in this. We have many healthcare, REITs, utilities, KLCI, telemedia, plantation, the list goes on. So this is a list of what we call strength, okay? The KLCI is here, right? Right now, these are the ones already run, but take note of these other sectors, the technology, the consumer, right? These are the ones that's going to move over to the green. And this is the one you want to position yourself. Do I say this makes sense? So these are the sectors you want to position yourself, right? No point buying Hatta Lega, no point buying Top Glove, no more buying Supermax, right? And or Comfort Glove. Am I right now? This already run it, everybody also know, right? So it's actually a risk. So right now is where you want to target these so-called red zone or red bars moving to the green bar. So the next couple of slides, get ready your handphone camera, right? So I hope that when you're watching this, you have your desktop or maybe your laptop, and then you have a camera to take photo of this. Or you can screen print. This is also important too, going forward, all right? Okay, Mayday, I hope it dropped below 2300 too. Yeah, I hope so too, Peter. Now, this is from KPMG. It's very important. This is something I got from a group of my so-called networking. Very important. He talked about the pace of COVID recovery. This is from KPMG, a well-known consulting company. Those of you who've been an accountant, those of you who have been in the corporate world will understand. So he has this, what we call a 2x2 matrix. Okay, so I'm going to go through and try to explain to you where they have this so-called pace of recovery high, and this is what we call damage, degree of damage. Okay, very important. We call damage, how much damage has been made. Here is low. Okay, here is high. No, sorry. This is the pace. Okay, this is okay. How fast is it? All right, the damage is low here, lah. Huh? And this is the pace of recovery. So if you notice, they actually segment into 4 areas. Okay, first one, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so I'm just gonna. First one is definitely what we call the traditional. This one is actually what we call the social business. Okay, where we have a physical. Okay. You can see travel and leisure, durable goods, professional services. This is where we do meet a lot of meet to face, and this is where, you know, when this COVID-19, you all notice, right? The business of Zoom, Skype, okay, Microsoft one are the team where all the so-called video conferencing really transformed. That's why they say there's a need to transform. This is the one. And look at the 2, modified business as usual. This is the traditional one, agriculture, transportation. And you notice even this week, if you want to take the train, remember our train are designed to pack you like sardine. Am I correct, right? Pack you like sardine until we find the COVID-19. Are you going to take the public transport? Like the train and the buses? But if you don't have money, no choice lah. Right? But for most people, they will avoid it. And remember that the way the structure of the buses, we are pack people like sardines. So they have to modify this, and they're doing that. So what they're saying that you have one space free, one space sitting, one space free, one space sitting. So that's what they're going to do. But notice, this is going to end up to 50% what? All right, so this one will be also a restaurant business, isn't it? Okay, restaurant business. So this is where you're going to get the 50% capacity. And one of the business which really impacted in sector 1 is also Genting, you know this, right? Which I will talk about it. So Genting. So this kind of business is, so you think of it, these are the kind of business, banking, you want to stay away out. And the hard reset, this is the one that, you know, Warren Buffett did this week, okay? Buffett. Okay, I'll write down sold all airline shares. So that's a huge implication. Why? Because if he have sold it, the valuation for the airlines is going to be gone. If you have seen one documentary, which I did, they talk about the airline, which is from Airbus and Boeing, which are the 2 biggest manufacturers in the world. If you want to buy an aircraft, you got to wait for almost 18 to 24 months. And all of a sudden, because of COVID-19, guess what? Cancel every order. You can buy one off the shelf now. If you have the money, they will deliver to you because no one is buying, right? And they have plenty of the 737 MAX because of the incident that we have on the Indonesian airline that crashes. All those has been sort of cancelled out, and that's really huge business in there. The higher education business in there, again, that one, the restaurant business is away. The hotels, okay, they had to have a hard reset. So I just want to just move on. But this is the one the real focus is. Okay, the real focus is the surge. Right now we've seen those, the retail, the technology. I don't have to talk about it, but this is the one that you'll look at. So this is a very good slide. We talk about the damages. The damages in here was very high for this industry, the damages, and the pace where they can change is tough. You think of it, a restaurant which is designed to take up about 100 patron. Okay, now you decide to take 50. Wow, which means 50% of the sales. So usually which they will take, what, let's say 9 months to 12 months to break even, they will take longer. And that's why you see a lot of restaurants will close shop. I'm serious. You look at Genting, they are doing pay cuts. Even the top executive are taking a 50% pay cut, the mid-level about 30% pay cut. And those of you who are in the travel industry, if you're in the travel industry, just type travel, or if you are in the hard reset industry, just type hard reset. So at least I know where you are. Okay, just type those in there and you can really know. So this is really what we talk about, why the damages in the industry is so value and the value chain. Okay, just type in so I sort of know where you guys come from, and I want to offer you a little bit of a solution going forward. Okay, so let's look at the next one. Now the search sector, it's the one that we really want to focus on. The search sector here, so online retail, technology, telecommunication, food delivery, telemedicine. Now I do know you're going to say, Martin, you can't find any of this in Malaysia, right? That's why I always say, look to US. Look at those online retailer. The technology company Microsoft, with his Skype, with his team, okay, media. The other one, media, Netflix, right, did pretty well, right? I'm sitting at home watching my Netflix over the last 6 weeks. Okay, turning on the Netflix, watch a lot of Bollywood movie, watch a lot of Korean movie. That's all you can do during the MCO, right? So those, you see huge surge in there. Even Disney coming up with a Disney channel in there. Amazon, Microsoft, these are the ones going forward. When Uber, the Uber food delivery, unfortunately most of these, except for Uber, they are listed in US. And then finally is Gillette. How many of you heard of this company called Gillette? If you heard of this company called Gillette, type Gillette. All right. Type Gillette. They are the ones likely to make the vaccine, okay, for COVID-19. And Trump is banking on this fella. Okay, so Gillette is the one making on the COVID-19 vaccine. It's important that check out the stock price. The stock price has already moved up in there, but it hasn't priced in. But I was told if they can get it up by production by end of the year, early next year, they will make hundreds of millions for the worldwide. And then eventually Gillette will be something like a TB shot, that the vaccine that you shoot in here will be very cheap. And you know, come to think of it, COVID-19 will be 1 or 2 page in our history book. All right. So life science, this is the pharmaceutical one, which I'll talk about here. Gillette. All right. Good. Okay. Good. So these are information which is important, because what I'm trying to do here is to tune you into the new industry. I know some of you are the Warren Buffett type, the brick and mortar. You know, you like to buy Exxon Mobil. You know, because they have plenty of money. Okay, they got lots of oil rig in out there. I know some of you listening are from Petronas, and you are telling me a different story. You say that if I have a chance, I really want to divest out from Petronas, the oil and gas sector in there. 5 or 6 years ago, when a lot of parents were doing they want to really get their children to do chemical engineering or go into petroleum, because petroleum was really booming at that time, but no longer going forward. If you want your children, okay, your children education in what sector, okay, your children, you invest, I always talk about you invest, your children education, these are the sector you want to look at. So those of you who's going to send your children overseas to study, please look into this, okay, because when they come out, you know where they're going to get jobs. Okay. Do I say this makes sense or not? Okay, if you want to say anything, give me a thumbs up. Okay, let's move on. Will benefit. So go in and please give Smart Robbie a good Facebook feedback. Okay, FB review. Okay, and where is it? It will be at fb.com/smartrobbie. Okay. So here the keywords you look for is undervalue. For example, KKB rated 6. Okay. There was another one, Guangzhong or Magnatech, 300 million cash, net cash position, which is a rated 6. And guess what? It pays a 4.84% dividend. This one pay for this one pay for. So remember when we talk about the FD going forward, it's going to be what, 2%, isn't it? That's per year, right? Do you get any upside? So why don't you invest in a stock like this one and this one? Make sense or not? Okay, so that's why all we want to, don't pay us anything, just go into FB review and give us a good rating. And this one way you do that. You go to Smart Robbie, type undervalued stocks. So my job every day is go through, or you can subscribe to our newsletter free of charge, okay, which I'm going to go to this one in here. You can take a photo of this one, subscribe to Smart. I think many of you are, and also reading it. Usually by 4 o'clock or by 3 o'clock, the system will send you an email. But if you want to read it on tape, just go over to fb.com/smartrobbie in here. So you take a photo of this, right, and you can download the Smart Robbie software, and as well get a copy of the free report. Okay, so that's something of a real value to you in here. And just go back to here. So these are typical news that I've talked about. The margin of safety, I won't talk about it. I just want to keep moving. Another good stocks in here. Kellington talks about growth where we have. And remember, in Smart Robbie we have what we call the news. It tallies the news by ascending date order, chronological order, so you're able to follow it. So in there, 360 view, fundamental, technical, sentimental is with you. Smart Robbie to advise you. All right, in here. So Smart Robbie is our first mobile app chat, highly intelligent and highly free for a limited time. You can download it at robbie.sign up in there. So a lot of information comes from here, and these are the 2 QR code. All right. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so also add a bit of a defensive sector in here, and this is just one of the news that I came across. I know they're expensive, no doubt about it. Unfortunately, Nestle, I think is Sharia compliant. I know it's expensive. I bought Nestle at about $96. I'm still holding it. It pays a great dividend in there. Buy 1 or 2 of them and hold it. I know it's a quite illiquid company, but it's something you can buy because, like it or not, the food Nestle has done pretty well, all right, as long as continue to make. Now remember, last time Nestle and BAT used to be side by side, but BAT, we all know, right, the cigarette came in and they were knocked out, but Nestle continued re-innovate. And so GCB, Guangchong, okay, they went to chocolates in there and they're doing pretty well. We have the Carlsberg and we have the Hapsing that makes the food Hapsing biscuits in there. You can't avoid the travel airline. So these are all 6 out of 8, 5 out of 8, and use the trading view or use the Robbie Smart Robbie trading plan to plan your entries. And going forward, if you can see this news on the right hand side, Nestle allocated highest capex, right? They won't invest in themselves 280 million if they think they can't grow, isn't it? Right? So what it has shown in this post MCO, a lot of people buy. And also one thing, people stock up a lot. Now we post MCO. Let's look at a scenario going forward. Okay, 2020. If you have a vaccine, we don't have a vaccine. If you have a vaccine, what would the world look like? Are we going to go back to what we've seen before the post-vaccine? A little bit of changes, or we don't have vaccine. Or the vaccine is what we call partial success. Some people get better, some people don't get better. So we're going to have a bit of this. So like it or not, Nestle eventually will come up because people still need to eat, right? So right now we can see this really post MCO, a good chance to accumulate Nestle. Try to buy a bit more at the support level. Use the Robbie trading plan. All right, defensive stocks is always good. Now this is back to Pentagon Guider way back in 12th of April. Right now, how do you want to know the Pentagon Guider? Go to Robbie and look for the KLC marketplace. Hit it, and you can see that chart comes out. So right now it is buy because the green Pentagon came in somewhere back in 12th of April. It's already 6th of May. Been 1 month already. Okay. Now for the Bursa, the fastest stock recovery compared to post MCO, and something that I've talked about previously, was consumer stable, industrial product, utilities, and technologies. So one of the ways you can do is that every night my trainer Zach will go to the screener, isn't it? Right? He'll go through the screener, and you can use this, right, for our members to find insights where you have the benefit of what? The benefit of the trade setup, the benefit of the sector, and benefit of smart money accumulation. What more can you get? 360-degree view, technicals, fundamentals, and sentimental that give you an edge that no one else has. So TradeVSA Insight Screener does that. All right. So make sure you catch tomorrow night, 9:30. Tomorrow night, not tomorrow night. Tomorrow is a public holiday, Vesak Day. So I wish all our Vesak members, those who are celebrating the Buddhism, the the birthday of Buddha a good Vesak day. All right. So again, Post MCO online retailer technology that we talk about. There's also the industry screener. Look for those who pay very good dividend. But you know what I'm talking about. The earlier ones, those are very good stock lists that I have. All right. And subscribe to our Robi free report. All right. Definitely that's the one that will keep you up to date. You won't miss anything. If you never read the business newspaper, don't worry. Robi will read it for you. All right. So, and it's totally free. So make sure you get that one too. Okay. Now, let's talk about Post MCO Covid-19. I think this is quite true. I think in any sense, there is a salary cut, some company going south. So how do we want to do that? And we actually have a proposal in here through our income trading strategy, COVID-19. Post COVID-19, we teach you how to trade CPA. Those of you who saw me traded live on Tuesday, we made Monday we lost a little bit. Tuesday we made about 6 points. That's right. And then my coach Arif also traded, make about 5 points in there. Just that 9 or 10 minutes in there. And this is what we were trying to do. If you've been infected by COVID-19, pay cut, job loss, why don't learn a new skill? Right? Learn a new skill and try to earn 6 to 10% daily. I think that's important. So our coaches in here, you can see a photo of Zach, Fu, Arif, and myself. We're already here to train. Look, 500 profit in a day, it's not a problem. Okay, this is what we want to do. So our next workshop will be in June, and we do a lot of the session in here. These are some of the past photos that we have. We do it at our office in Tropicana, but no problem. Now we can do it just like live FB or live webinar. Wherever you are, you can still get it too. All right, and we have many sessions training after the support. This is another 500 ringgit, and another one, another 300 ringgit. So every day got some profit. Yes, we do have losses. Losses are small, winners are reasonable, and that's how we are able to clock. My goal for you is to clock 200 to 300 ringgit per day during this MCO as well as post MCO. And a lot of time, this Friday, so don't miss it, this Friday 10:15 on live FB, same time, same place, but morning at 10:15, CPO open at 10:30. I'll show you how I trade live and how I want to achieve 200 to 300 ringgit in that 10-20 minutes time frame. You can watch me trade live, right? So for those of you who are interested in what I talk about, the post MCO, take it to the next level, salary cut, come and re-attend our June 13 to 15 with 1 year mentorship. That's right, 1 year. Many re-attendance and receipts. We have weekly, we have now right now this post MCO or CMCO, we're doing every day to show you we can make money. All right, we cover the US markets, lots of good benefits. Share that with your members, and you can also go to our Facebook review and see some of the people who talk about it. Right? We have a special price. Those of you who are interested, do register now and let us know. All right. So, okay, let's go on. Okay. So keep calm and just do it. That's all. All right. This was another profit for the FCPO 1,675. We shared that in our TradeVSA membership here. So don't forget, right? The live FB that we have free of charge, good information for you that you can take away and make tons of research on your own. Okay, if you think what I've shared with you tonight is really good, do share that in your timeline and give me a thumbs up. All right. So for my final message is join our TradeVSA Telegram and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Okay, for the remaining time that I have, I'll take some questions. You can type it on the comment in here. Else, if not, I'll see you guys on Friday, 10:15 when I trade the FCPO live. Of course, for our members, you have some question you want to ask about those stocks that I have, do post it in our Telegram group. All right. If not, I bid you a very good night and thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for your time, for your well-spent 1 hour. So I hope the stocks I've given you are very beneficial. The US one, the Malaysian one. All right. Have just the whole point of tonight is to have a little bit of strategy, have a bit of defensive stock. Just don't all buy, technology, sort of allocate to your funds how much you want to start with. And for those of you who want to make an income on the post COVID-19 MCO, trade the FCPO, follow us on Friday 10:15. I will show you how I made 200 to 300 ringgit within that limit time frame. All right, I'll try to do it for you. Okay. Okay. If you have some questions, you guys want to do or you want to ask me, you can always pen it in there. Thank you, Leong. Thank you. Actually, I'd like to say thank you to everybody. Without your audience, without your presence, right, it doesn't make me happier than what I am today. Really, you guys are there, and I really want to help you. I want to give you very, very good information, very insightful, deep from my heart, that you will benefit and you will make money in coming weeks, if not months, leading to November, the Trump re-election. So catch me every Wednesday night for the month of May, or every day, 10:15. If you can sneak a bit away from your office work. Some of you may be going to office, some of you not, and watch me trade live, and I'll show you how to make 200 to 300 ringgit daily on FCPO. All right. With that, good night, ladies and gentlemen. You can ask me question later. Thank you. Bye-bye. Good night.